The fascists moved quickly and ruthlessly against their political enemies. But Mussolini nearly threw it all away. One brazen act of violence went too far, even in the eyes of many fascists. In June 1924, the body of one of Mussolini's leading opponents, socialist deputy Giacomo Matteotti, was discovered in woods outside Rome. His murder had been arranged by Mussolini's close aides. This was a major atrocity. Liberal parliamentarian Giovanni Amendola launched stinging attacks on fascism in his newspaper Il Mondo.
39 million Italians are kneeling along the path of Matteotti from the site of his martyrdom to his final resting place. And today they will rise to defend those ideals that factions and tyranny cannot kill, but only strengthen and glorify.
The first 6 months after Matteotti was murdered in June of 1924 were a very difficult period for Mussolini. Several fascists had deserted him, public opinion was very volatile. There was a real fear that he would be overthrown.
Mussolini faced a stark choice: leaving power or stamping out all remaining dissent once and for all. He chose the latter. On January the 3rd, 1925, Mussolini strode confidently into Parliament. He did not even try to deny his role in Matteotti's death.
I declare before all Italy that I assume full responsibility for what has happened. Italy wants peace and quiet, and to get on with its work. I shall give it all these, if possible in love, but if necessary by force.
The January 1925 speech is the revelatory moment when fascism embarks upon the path towards dictatorship and the totalitarian state. He does it through a series of laws which eliminate the opposition deputies from parliament, which increasingly censors the press, which ultimately in 1926 leads to the dissolution of non-fascist parties and non-fascist trade unions, to the structures being put into place of a police state and a one-party state.
One man did speak out: Amendola. The next day, his newspaper, Il Mondo, said,
"This man, Mussolini, constitutes a pathological case, not foreseen in the Constitution. Everything is subordinated to his mad ambition."
But in the new fascist order, no opposition was tolerated. Amendola was hunted down by the black shirts and viciously beaten.
He was one of the most effective spokesmen for the opposition, and someone who refused to stop.
He was soon silenced, beaten to death. In a final insult, a group of fascists sang cheerfully as they wrecked his house after his death. Mussolini was relieved to be rid of him.
We had only one foe, an inflexible one, Giovanni Battista Amendola. He wanted to overthrow us in order to found a democracy.
Democracy was now finished in Italy. But there was one other body that could stand in his way. Mussolini knew he had to win the hearts and minds of the Italian people, the vast majority of whom were Catholic. The Vatican also wanted a deal.
As a result of Italian unification in the 19th century, the Church lost its status, and it lost its property. The papal states vanished. So from 1870, the Pope really had no country.
In 1929, Mussolini and the Vatican signed the Lateran Pacts, giving the Church virtually everything it wanted, including its own sovereign state, the Vatican City.
The Lateran Pacts put an end to the church-state dispute. If you like, they reinserted Catholicism into Italian society. The Vatican had committed itself to fascism for the foreseeable future. It had no confidence in the capacity of democracy to protect Italy against communism.
The Pope proclaimed that